Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification. It is Wednesday and we are here. Before we go too far, let's say hey to this. This is our lease on and dispatch information. In case you need it, you can reach out to us there. Tonight, we're going to talk about how this government shutdown is going to affect trucking. The government is closed. We want to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without them. All right, gas prices are flat, guys. I think it was up a tenth, but mainly flat from last week. News, look at this. ICE removes 130 truckers during the enforcement blitz in Oklahoma on I-40. Took them out, arrested them. Didn't take them out of service, arrested them. These are illegal aliens that were running semis. The FMCSA issues an emergency ruling restricting non-domicile CDLs. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration issued an emergency interim final rule Thursday that immediately and significantly restricts eligibility for non-domicile commercial driver's license, citing fatal crashes and widespread state compliance failures as justification for bypassing the normal rulemaking procedures. The rule is effective immediately upon publication in the Federal Register on September 29th. Limits the non-domicile CDL eligibility to foreign nationals holding an H-2A agricultural work visa, H-2B temporary non-agricultural work visa, and an E-2 treaty visitor visa. Employment authorization documents are no longer a qualifying applicant for these special licenses. All right, pictures of the week. Here's Jason. Got him a Bobcat up there. It's a pretty nice looking unit. We got Anthony with a good looking tarp load. We have Charles running lumber. Richard. There's Richard. I'm not sure. That looks like metal of some sort. We got James hauling concrete forms. We have Jan hauling piping. That's a big load of pipe right there. We got Ray. He sent me this because he had to back through that little hole. He sent me a thing and said he's a gooder backer. And yeah, I mean, guys, you gotta, if your backing skills are weak, you're gonna have to get on top of it because you're gonna back through this stuff all the time. And sometimes you pray you get it back into it when it's raining. This might be the coolest picture of the week right here. This is Robert, and he's hauling a Korean era, World War II era, 6x. I got another picture of it here real quick, but it is cool. Look at this thing. I'd have let him drop that off at my house. That's pretty awesome. All right, look at this. This is my son Roman. This is his first jaunt in my truck. He's 16. He's learning to drive. He wanted to go to the gym, so I had my truck sitting there. I was like, "All right, man, you want to go? You're gonna have to drive." So there's he is taking off. He did a good job. All right, load securement. Here's another Jenga load. Now, unfortunately, this happened in the rain, and I was soaking wet by the time I got done. Um, the load was 20,000 pounds. It was interlocking beams and hoist, and it was heavy. The 5500 there felled it. It was heavy. And there's 15 straps and 30 edge protectors on this thing. So I've got a little, here's the side view of it real quick. And here's a little video. And when these things are multi-layered and there's so many of them, you really have to pay attention as to how you're going to set these things on the deck and get them strapped over, because it can be a bear. And if the strap's not touching, it doesn't count. These were all interlocking, meaning one plate was set inside the other one at the ends. It's hard for me to show you that, but it was setting like this, so they couldn't move forward and back, and I had to get them down. On top, I laid the beam across the top of it to where the beam was the piece of landscape beam was here, and the back of the plate was here. Then the next piece set on top. I'm telling you, it's Jenga loads, and you've got to set these things up to work. Okay, so that was my rainy day experience. All right, let's see. Well, guys, the government is shut down effective immediately, and how is that going to affect trucking? Well, I'll be honest with you. While most day-to-day trucking operations will continue, a government shutdown can cause slowdowns, delays, and disruptions in certain functions. Okay. Uh, Agencies such as the Motor Carrier Safety Administration are largely funded by sources outside the annual appropriations, allowing most of their operations to continue. However, a shutdown can still impact trucking in the following ways. Well, let me just see this real quick. Let me just tell you guys something. So when I was with the federal government and we'd have a shutdown, they have what's called essential personnel. Essential personnel does not get furloughed, does not get laid off, basically. They work. Now, they may not get paid while they work, but you have to understand something. They do get paid. Okay. They will get paid. It will be backdated, and there'll be interest put on. So, short-term shutdowns are really no big deal. I liken it to trying to stop a freight train. You just can't. I mean, it just doesn't come to an immediate stop. All the programs are still moving and will move for a little while. Now, if they go, 6-8 weeks, we could be seeing some other things happening. Okay, so but as far as today and the next week or so, it's not going to be a big deal. All right, so potential impacts on the trucking industry would be the permitting and administrative delays. For example, if you just filed your MC request, your MC application, that could possibly be delayed because that kind of stuff is not essential to operations, and that will go away. So functions that are considered uh, essential may be, I'm sorry, functions that are not considered essential may be delayed. This includes processing the permits, compliance reviews, regulatory updates, background checks for new drivers. A shutdown lasting longer than 2 weeks could disrupt the FMCSA service related to new motor carrier registrations, medical exam waivers, and scheduling safety reviews. Reduced government freight. Now, if this goes on for too long, you could see this happen. The flow of freight for government agencies, including the Department of Defense, may be reduced or stopped during a shutdown. This could lead to a temporary increase in available trucking capacity in the private sector and increased competition. And you know what that means? More trucks, lower rates. So we could see this. Okay? We could see this. So you have to be prepared for it. Customs delays. At border crossing and ports, essential custom and border protection officers will remain on duty. However, thousands of the support staff may be furloughed, which could cause administrative delays for shipments requiring additional clearances from other agencies. Okay, so this is where it could happen. Potential impacts also is infrastructure projects could be halted. Okay, constructions on federal roads and bridges could stop. This would affect trucking companies and deliveries or drivers hauling materials for those specific projects. But routine maintenance on state highways are normally provided by the state and local governments, and that would continue unabated. Fuel, fuel surcharge uncertainty. Now, every week I give you the national average. Now, I get it from this administration, and it's the Energy Information Administration, and that's what posts average fuel cost across the United States, and it's published every week. So in past shutdowns, that agency has stopped publishing a weekly average diesel price. This can cause temporary uncertainty for contracts that rely on this data to determine fuel surcharges. Okay, so that's not really an essential part of the government, but a lot of people depend on that particular part to adjust their fuel surcharges. Now, what is not affected? Let's talk about that a minute, because now we're dealing with essential personnel, people that are considered essential. Safety enforcement. The FMCSA's core safety programs and roadside enforcement will continue during the shutdown. Fleets and drivers should maintain full compliance as the government does not want interruptions to the supply chain. Okay, so if you think you're going to, I saw something earlier. And this is just the silly stuff you see. I saw something earlier where it said, "Oh, government shutdown, all the way stations will be closed." Oh, shit. No. Way stations and ports of entry are operated by the state. Okay. So, no, don't even expect it. All right. FMCSA funding. Because the FMCSA is primarily funded by the Highway Trust Fund and Contract Authority, its employees and operations are not typically furloughed during a shutdown. Okay, so it's going to keep trucking, man. It's there. Private sector freight. The shipping of goods for private sector companies is not significantly impacted, especially during a short shutdown. Okay. So, border crossings, international border crossings will remain open. This is what's not affected. Okay. So, international border crossings will remain open with essential customs and border protection staff on duty. Let's talk about it, guys. Do we have questions? Do we have comments? I don't know that we do, but that's what's happening out there today. And it happened last night at midnight. We're reporting on it today, and just want to get the news out there as to what's really happening with this shutdown and what you can expect going forward. Don't listen to all this stuff that's being blowed up your butt with these YouTube stuff. I just saw a bunch of crazy mess on there. Like, we own the roads. I'm like, you will till you get pulled over. Yes, go. If you don't think that's right, go play and see what happens. What you got? Anything? Nah. Are they related to anything?
Richard talking?
No, Richard's always talking. Richard tore up his toolboxes today. Yeah, he did. I was going to put him on here now. I thought I wouldn't throw salt in his wounds.
Well, he's happy now.
No, he's happy because I mentioned it. Yeah, those comments. Hello from Raleigh, parked for the night across the street from the bar's pickup. Can't beat that. Yeah, man. Ready to go. Ready to roll. Chris Golden, do you see the shutdown holding or helping Hotshot truck rates? Neither nor. I don't think it. I think the 130 illegal aliens they yanked off the road in Oklahoma this week is going to help Hotshot. It's going to help the trucking industry. The more these illegal people, the more these visa people get out of here, the better the rates will be. That's how I see it. Because right now, you got these guys coming here from India or Pakistan or Mexico. They're illegal, shouldn't be driving, going to California, getting a CDL, and driving the rates straight in the ground. That's what's happening. Running for 10 cents a mile or 50 cents a mile, whatever they're getting paid. But yeah, that's my feeling. James Copeland, how many units of operation? James, I would have to count them. I think around 16 or 17. So that's pretty much it. Well, look, guys, it's a Wednesday, and I hope everybody's doing all right. I wanted to come on here tonight with just a quick update as to what you can see, what you hear. The news is out there just beating drums, trying to get everybody in an uproar. Not to get an uproar about this. Is a political thing. I don't do politics on this channel because politics and religions are somebody's beliefs, and you're not going to change it. So, no use in talking about it. But I'm going to keep on keeping on. Like I said, the federal government's like a freight train. It's going to take a long time, and it'll have to be shut down a long time before we're going to feel anything. Now, the one thing that could happen is with the DOD freight and the things like that, that could drive those trucks into our lanes. In which case, if that happens, you're going to see a glutton of trucks out there for the same freight, and it's going to drive prices down. So, let's hope it doesn't last too long. Anything else? All right, guys, short and sweet tonight. Which one? Oh, no, Anthony. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Anthony sent in a video. Listen, don't do U-turns. What the hell? I thought we had enough of this. Anthony sent this off his dash cam last night. Guys, come on. This isn't our guy, but this is a tractor trailer, and this isn't even on an interstate. This is on a two-lane road, a highway. Here. I hope you can see this. That's an Amazon truck. On a two-lane road, he pulled a Huey. Thank you for reminding me. What the hell? Yeah, I forgot all about that. About ran past it. But look, if you guys miss your turn, don't do a U-turn. Go down to the next exit. And it could be a pain in the ass. I've went 21 miles to the next exit out west. And cussed for 21 miles. But I wasn't gonna do a U-turn. Hell no. So guys, love your family. That's all you got. I appreciate you all being here. Any more questions? No comments? We are out of here. And listen, here we are. You know, we're in October. We only got a few more weeks to run before we get to the winter lull. So you guys better be on your P's and Q's and out there running. If there's anything I can do to help you, please reach out. This is Bryan with DD214 Transport. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification. See you next week.
Jeans and a 4x4, cruising down your front door. From a full six-pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a western swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in a parking lot. I'm rowdy, rough, big and grown. I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old boy